to the top 8 movie horror franchises of all time. I'm your host, JD. Coming in at number 8 is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I watched this when I was little. I liked how it was shot. It was scary as hell. A little bit of relief for me while watching it was when the old man couldn't hit the lady in the head. Kept doing it about 100 times because he's weak as hell. And then at the end, the found footage. I used to think forever that was actually real, really shot. They tricked me. And then I found out that it's based off of Ed Gein, serial killer. That dude was twisted. So, at number 8 is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In at number 7 is Hellraiser. The Cenobites are fucking scary as hell. And then, as a kid, I would call them cinnamon bites. The way they killed people, Sven, was awesome. It was gory. I don't really watch that movie a lot. I have watched all of them. So, when they kick out a new one, I'll watch it. I need to pick up the comic book. But that is my number 7. Number 6 is a Leprechaun movie. I know that In Space is not my favorite. It's ridiculous. Do you enjoy laughing at In the Hood? I have this thing for B-made movies. Real low-budget horror movies. They kind of touch me. I watched the original one. I just watched the sequel to the original one. I also watched the one with Hornswoggle. All in all, they're good. I enjoy them. They are 6 because in space, it was a thing in the 90s to have everything in space. Ugh. Number 5 is Child's Play. I first watched that in the back of a van. We went to go see Ghost Dad at a double feature. Supposed to be sleeping and ended up watching that. Oh boy, that. And then my uncle got me and my buddy down. I wanted to rip its head off. Some of the movies are weaker than others. Seed is the weakest, I think. Bride. I do like the last 2 sequels. Especially since at the end before the Cult of Chucky, how Andy knew that Chucky was going to deliver himself to his house, having the good guy be up one. I am going to watch the reboot, and I heard there's going to be a TV series. I'm watching that too. Number 4 is Scream. Scream kind of like reinvented the slasher genre. 1 and 2 are fantastic. I've watched all of them. I think they're all okay, at least. I must have seen them about 100 times. You stick with the same final girl. Excuse you. Excuse you again. And then they make fun of themselves in the movies by having the stab movies. I think that's pretty cool. I think not really scary, but the Ghostface Killer was a good idea. It made some memorable lines. I'm getting a little woozy here. That came a meme. So, Scream at number 4. Number 3 is Halloween. They took a low-budget film and made it into something. I think this one at number 1 shouldn't have been what they were on the budget they were given. But they took a William Shatner mask, cut the eyeballs out, whitened the mask, simple, simple. The house they shot was this close to being condemned. Like they had to remodel some of it. The shots that you can see the house, the shots are inside the house. They're remodeled, and they had to be careful not to show because the whole house was modeled. So it'd be like, this looks nice, that looks nice, all it looks like crap. But they did it. And then the franchise again kind of drops off. I do not like Season of the Witch. I think that's the weakest. I know everybody thinks the one with Paul Rudd in it is the weakest. I actually enjoy that. I have a guilty pleasure. I enjoy it. And now he's Ant-Man. Halloween H2O and Resurrection weren't the best from Jamie Lee Curtis, but she's even said that. And then the new one, awesome. I bought it as soon as it came out on DVD. I went and watched it in the movie theater. It was good. It was better than most. But I would do a top 8 on like each of these franchise and movie wise some other day. Most of them. Probably won't do Texas Chainsaw or Hellraiser. I'll do Leprechaun, Child's Play, Scream, even though there's not 8. Halloween for sure. And the other 2 on this list. So number 2 is Friday the 13th. The original one was made. It was his mother. Most people get that wrong. The sequel came out. It was supposed to be after that. It's supposed to be like Friday the 13th itself. The day was a scary day. They did make a TV show. I ended up watching that. It was more about cursed objects, like Friday the 13th being superstition. That TV show was, they realized after the 3rd movie, when they gave him the iconic hockey mask, that changing it, when they did change him into somebody else, it didn't go very well. People were pissed and wanted Jason, not the ambulance driver. So they fixed it. I did watch the newest one, I'd say. It's old now. That was good. So definitely have to do a top 8 on those movies. Coming in at number 1 is Nightmare on Elm Street. This should be no surprise. This is a movie that is widely known. Robert Englund did a fantastic job with that character. Again, a movie that shouldn't have been shit. Should have been nothing. With a budget of crap. Pulled it off. Spawned sequels. Sequels don't get as dumb as some of the other franchise sequels. Don't like the remake. It's not that it wasn't good. It wasn't Robert Englund, so kind of wrote it off before I even watched it. Camera's kind of tippy a little bit. I still have nightmares to this day about it with Freddy Krueger, so it stuck with me. He stuck with me. One of the first horror movies I've ever watched. It's just the way he portrayed him was fantastic. He was a serial killer who haunted you into nightmares. That sounds ridiculous, but he did it. And he did it by scaring people and by having a twisted sense of humor. Kind of a thing for a dark sense of humor. So, that being said, this is my number 1. This is like the 3rd time I've shot this video. I really need a camera person. This is my number 1, and this has been Top 8 Horror Franchises. JD, out.